Welcome to the corner. It's already been 6 months since I bought the Samsung Galaxy S24. During this time, I have tested all of its new features, its performance in different apps, and I have taken a lot of photos and videos to check out the camera quality. Today, I want to share my experience after all this time. As always, I want to start by talking a bit about the exterior design. As you can see, it follows the same design language we've seen in previous years with the S23 and S22. The main difference this year is that the side bezels are completely flat, very similar to the ones we can see on the latest iPhones. Personally, what I love the most about this new design is that once again, Samsung has managed to reduce the front frames a little bit more. Thanks to this, the phone looks even more futuristic when you're using it. Plus, it has a bigger screen in the same space, because what used to be the side frame is now usable screen, so to say. And I have to say, I really love this because it makes the phone very comfortable to use, ideal for one-handed typing, while at the same time, it also gives you a big 6.2-inch screen, perfect for watching YouTube videos, browsing social media, and reading text on a web page without forcing your vision. I think it brings the perfect balance between screen size and versatility. It is a shame that Samsung doesn't make an Ultra version with this size, because I think it would be the ultimate Android phone for me. The only downside is that these new side bezels, being so straight and sharp, they kind of dig into my palm a bit when I'm using it, especially after a while. Honestly, I think the slightly rounded design on the S23 was a little bit better. It probably goes without saying, but the S24 is incredibly powerful. It features a next-gen processor and up to 12 GB of RAM, so everything from simple apps to the most demanding games runs smoothly and reliably. In fact, it is so fast that it directly competes with professional desktop computers. To give you an idea, here is my desktop tower, which I bought to edit all the videos you see on this channel. It is a very powerful mid to high-end build with liquid cooling for maximum performance. In the Geekbench 6 test, it scores 11,000 points, which is great. It is a very good result. But it's only 4,000 points more than what the base S24 achieves, a compact phone that fits in your pocket and that doesn't even have any kind of active cooling. Obviously, it is not meant to handle the same tasks as a professional computer, nor does it have access to the same programs, at least for now. But it is interesting to know that it is getting very close in terms of power, and that if you ever need to access all of these capabilities, the S24 will let you do almost anything you want. By the way, a quick pause to let you know that the S24 right now has a very good price on Amazon. I have left a link down below in the description, so if you're interested at the end of the video, I recommend you go take a look. The only issue that I found is that when I'm doing something demanding, like playing a 3D game for a while, the phone gets pretty hot, sometimes reaching up to 45 degrees Celsius. To be fair, this is actually quite rare. It doesn't happen to everyone. I actually think it's caused by the Exynos CPU that comes in the European version of the S24. In any case, I recommend checking some forums to see if other people are experiencing the same issue. As of now, in July 2024, the S24 Ultra is running Android 14 and One UI 6.1, which are the OS and Samsung's customization layer for it, respectively. However, Samsung has promised 7 years of free updates, so if you buy it later, it will likely come with the latest version available at that time. After 6 months, I haven't experienced any system failures or app crashes, and navigating through the system feels very smooth and stable. In recent years, Samsung has put a lot of effort into optimizing their devices, and it really shows. One of the areas I was most concerned with was the battery. It is a fairly compact phone, and therefore it has a fairly compact battery. I'm sure if you've ever had a small phone, you know what this means. Generally speaking, a pretty limited battery life. But fortunately, that is not the case with the S24. Considering its size, the battery life has been simply incredible. With normal use, such as simple apps and social media, I have managed to use it for over 7 hours straight. And I'm confident that with careful management of connections and screen brightness, you could extend that to 8 or even 9 hours easily. Additionally, it features 25-watt fast charging and wireless charging for added convenience. The only thing it lacks is a magnetic charging system like the iPhones have, which would make connecting it to vertical chargers and external accessories much simpler. As I mentioned earlier, the S24 has a fairly compact display with 6.2 inches covering the entire front of the device. It has a 1080p resolution, 2600 nits of brightness, and a high refresh rate panel for maximum smoothness. All of these features are great and meet the expectations for a flagship phone in 2024. But I have to say, what I liked the most by far is the extra brightness compared to previous models. 2600 nits is absolutely insane, not just for consuming HDR content on Netflix or YouTube, but for being able to use the phone outdoors without having to find a shaded area and force your vision, which is what I had to do until now. Oh, and by the way, during these 6 months, I have been using it without a screen protector, and in spite of this, the phone shows no visible signs of wear, unlike other models I've had. I'm sure many of you don't know this, but there's a special feature for the S24 and other Samsung phones that allows it to transform into a desktop computer. This feature is called Samsung DeX, and honestly, I think it is one of the best features of the phone. When you connect it to a monitor via USB-C, it automatically launches a new desktop interface on the big screen, similar to a Windows PC, allowing you to access apps more comfortably. You can also connect a mouse and keyboard for easier navigation, or even a console controller for gaming. Honestly, I think for less demanding users who just want to send emails, do some light work using simple apps, or browse the internet, this is a great alternative to buying a laptop or desktop computer. There's really only one aspect of the S24 that hasn't impressed me, and that is the artificial intelligence features, the AI. Because sure, the features it offers are advanced and very impressive on paper, but in practice, in real life, I almost never need them. The only feature I find somewhat useful is the circle to search, which lets you very easily search for anything on your screen. For example, you can search for a piece of clothing you like but don't know the brand of. Or, even more advanced and a little bit concerning, you can take photos of people in the street and then circle their faces to see what information shows up about them online. Again, this is a bit concerning and kind of dangerous. Probably the thing that I liked most about the S24 is its camera setup. It has a 12 megapixel ultra-wide, a 50 megapixel main sensor, and a 3x telephoto with 10 megapixels. In my experience, all these cameras have performed very well, delivering the expected results for a flagship phone in 2024. Sharp photos with good colors, video with a lot of dynamic range, and a surprising ability to take night photos while maintaining detail and clarity. Overall, the camera is excellent, handling all kinds of situations with ease, and there's really nothing to criticize. That said, there are a few features that have particularly caught my attention and deserve a closer look. First, I want to mention the incredible focusing capability on this phone. No matter what you're pointing at, it quickly understands what's in front, what's in the background, and what you want to focus on, which may seem trivial because any modern phone can focus automatically, but they don't all do it equally well. The iPhone 15 in particular has given me a lot of issues in this regard. On the other hand, the S24 can also record video in 4K at 120 FPS, which until recently was a feature exclusive to professional cameras. This allows you to record video in extremely high quality, but also in slow motion, achieving super professional results that don't seem like they were taking with a smartphone. However, I need to make a small disclaimer. When I tried recording video at 4K and 120 FPS, the phone did heat up quite a bit, so I recommend not making extremely long recordings in this mode. And well, even though it is not a new feature, I have to mention the Pro Video and Pro Photo modes included in the camera app for more demanding users. As many of you know, I mainly use an iPhone as my personal phone, so I'm used to having all of these settings in auto mode as the only option. I cannot control the ISO, the shutter speed, or the white balance. Everything is handled automatically by the phone. In fact, I had to buy an external app to be able to change those variables. Having a pro mode for photo and video right on the main app on the S24 has been amazing, and now it's becoming really hard for me to go back. I suppose many of you watching this video want to know if it is worth it to buy the Samsung Galaxy S24. You have been waiting for a while and you want someone who has used the phone for some time to give you an opinion based on real-world usage. Well, in my experience, after 6 months, I would say that yes, it is definitely worth it. It is an expensive phone, but it justifies every dollar spent. It is a true flagship with some really impressive features and very few downsides. As I said earlier, I've included a link in the description to buy it at a very good price on Amazon. Now that the video is over, I recommend you go take a look.